The Minnesota shooter suspect Vance Boelter was caught and arrested.
What happened?
The Minnesota shooter Vance Boelter was wearing a fake police uniform and a mask when he shot 4 victims at 2 different homes. And he had a hit list which was filled with 70 targets, mainly Democratic lawmakers and political leaders, to include Tim Walz, who support Planned Parenthood and abortion rights. This happened on the morning of the No Kings protest at 2 a.m.
How did they catch him?
SWAT teams of more than 75 people were searching for him, and a $50,000 bounty was placed on his head. And after he assassinated the top Democratic leader, Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark in their home, he then went to another Democratic leader's house, John Hoffman, and his wife Yvette. When the shooter arrived, he pretended to be an officer again and shot them multiple times in their home. However, police were already on him at this point, and the shooter left behind his hat as evidence. The police eventually found him on a trail.
How did Vance Boelter convince people he was a police officer?
He drove a vehicle that resembled a police officer's, equipped with flashing emergency lights. He also worked for a security company where he was a director of security patrols and had training from the U.S. military. He also wore a police uniform with a mask. He identifies as an evangelical Christian and was originally a registered Republican in the early 2000s, but as of 2019, he said he had no party preference. However, his roommate said he voted for Donald Trump and was a strong supporter even last election. And when the Minnesota Republican Party was asked to share if he voted Republican last year, they refused to reveal the information.
This clearly makes it a bad idea for law enforcement to wear masks.
That's debatable. Vance Boelter also served on a state board in 2019 with the Democratic leader he assassinated and was originally assigned by Tim Walz as someone who recommends policies to the state government. However, allegedly, Tim Walz didn't even know Vance Boelter and is unsure how he was granted that position. And Tim Walz was even placed on Vance Boelter's hit list.
Thank goodness he was caught.
It doesn't matter because it's too late.